What's good, guys? It's TSG. In today's video, we're going to be having a chat with Wolfehr, who's a nominee for the Illuvinati Council. Hope you guys enjoy. What's good, guys? It's TSG, and today we've got Heath, or Wolfehr here, one of the Illuminati nominees, and we're just going to dive in deep with some questions and kind of see where he stands on a lot of things. So, Heath, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. It's nice to talk to you. Thanks for having me.
No, that's cool. That's cool, man. Yeah, how you feeling? Tell me, like, just today, how's it been? I know you said we had a bit of a chat before. You said you put your son to sleep. But how's your day? How are you feeling overall, man?
It's been a good day overall. This is my first time doing one of these things, so I'm definitely a little bit nervous being on camera. But it was a good day today. One of my old friends from college came over. I haven't really had anyone over since I moved to Westchester from New York City, like any friends to really hang out. So it was really nice having someone here. He brought his kid over, so we have kids that are about the same age, so they got to play. We got to hang out, and it was a good day overall.
No, that's
cool.
And
I just finished putting my son to sleep, so it was overall a good, relaxing day hanging out with my friends and family.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want. Yeah, don't be nervous, man. Honestly, like the start is always a bit more. Well, once we get started, it'll be fine. But yeah, so we're just gonna jump straight into it, man. The first question,
sounds good.
Like I'm gonna let everyone know. So the point of these things is I'm trying to give everyone the same questions so we can get like their specific perspectives on things and kind of give everyone an even playing field. So I'm going to start off with some easy questions and it's going to get a bit harder. So we're going to start off super easy. And how long have you been in the Illuvium community? And a two-part question. How long have you been in the Illuvium community? And what specifically about Illuvium drew you into it? Because there's a lot of people that come in and out of other projects. What about Illuvium kind of made you stay here?
Cool. So I've been with Illuvium since last July. I kind of found out about it when they launched their staking. I pay attention to a lot of crypto. I lead a lot of crypto news. So Illuvium launching their staking is something that came across my radar. I looked into it a little bit. And overall, like the Illuvium idea, I found really attractive and really interesting. The whole concept of having a gamified crypto platform where like the initial idea of having this like Pokemon style TFT game, I thought was a really interesting and creative usage of crypto, blockchain, NFTs. The DeFi layering on top of it and what the time and thought they had put into that whole like DeFi aspect of it, of really thinking about it, how you build like a really economy within a game and then putting this really cool, awesome AAA game on top of it. I thought it looked fun to me and something that, I would want to play. And I thought it would also be a good investment because I thought there was a really strong tokenomics, a really potential to have a lot of really, gamified addicted people playing this Pokemon style game. But more than that, I also really like the vision that the team sort of presented as this is just the first step, right? It was presented more of like a platform or a protocol I was thinking that people could plug into in the future, and this was just like the first step. So I thought it was definitely something that, this is kind of the future of gaming. The white paper sounded really well thought out. The graphics and everything that they were putting together sounded like they were really putting together a strong team. So that was kind of got me in it, and that's kind of what kept me hooked. I've been paying attention to Discord. Like as soon as I started staking, I joined the Discord. Just seeing community, and every time I go in there, it takes 20 minutes just to catch up. I like when people post their little recaps of here's what everyone said. So hard, and then just the team leaking things. Like two things about the leaks. One, they just kept me really interested because you're always seeing the stuff that they're building. It's not this maybe vaporware thing that you're trying. Wait 6 months, you'll see stuff. You actually like see the progression. And also you could just see the enthusiasm whenever the team talks about it. You can tell this is really something that, it's not just a job for them. It's really a passion project. And I think the products and games and, things that tend to be the most successful are things that are made by people who are really passionate about it. So that's what sort of got me interested. And since I've been here, since like last July and kind of what I've stuck with. And if there's anything in there you want me to dig into more, definitely let me know.
That's actually really cool. Because that's
answer.
Because you've been around for a while. Because I got in June, July, September. I got in 1 month after you, roughly. So yeah, we've been in around the same time, which is really cool. But yeah, one thing I did want to dive in just a little bit, just a fun thing was you kind of mentioned that you were interested the Pokemon side of things, like the TFT, the gaming side, and the investment side. Prior to this, like, were you more heavy in investing outside, like just in general, or are you a heavy gamer? Where do you as a person kind of lie, or is it pretty balanced?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What are your experiences?
So on the like am I a gamer side, I've been a lifelong gamer, I would say. I've never been a really hardcore gamer. I've been like a lifelong gamer. So I just grew up playing video games, particularly when I had more time in my tens. I don't know what do you call before you're a teen? My preteens and teens and 20s when I had more time. My parents still have pictures of me when I got my NES for I think it was like my 10th birthday, and I was like so happy, and I remember playing those games. So growing up, I played lots of games, and then since then, I've always continued to be a casual gamer. I'd say I'm like a 3 to 5 hour a week gamer. I was playing Gods Unchained earlier today. We were playing Mario Kart with my wife. I were playing Mario Kart. My son has actually started to get interested in Mario Kart. He doesn't know how to play. Cool. He just holds the controller and he pushes the buttons and it kind of just goes around. So I'm that kind of gamer. I like to play BioShock and stuff like that. I enjoy games. I like games in general. I also love to play board games.
Actually, I want to ask because this is something that I'm personally dealing with as well. But because obviously you have a family now, and like you said, you're about 3 to 5 hour per week gamer. Just because both of us understand that it's difficult to commit so much time into just gaming when we have other things in life, other responsibilities. Do you personally think that with this play to earn thing coming up, can you see yourself spending more time in the gaming thing? Sorry, this is not even about the nomination. I'm just curious now.
Yeah. So I think I probably would spend more time gaming, mostly because one of the reasons I only spend 3 to 5 weeks gaming is because I have other things that I like. I like reading. I like to cook. I like other types of playing guitar. I like other things too. But when you add a potential like earning aspect to it, now if it's like, do I want to play guitar or I do want to play a game? If they're very close to about even, now if I know I could like actually earn a little bit of money playing the game, it might tip it over to playing the game more often. I'm someone who's interested in lots of things, so I think I would still find it hard to. I would still want to play guitar. I would still want to like be.
But just that balance might. That balance might.
But
shift
you
a
might.
bit,
The balance might shift a little bit because you always have that additional incentive and that little bit in your brain. I know, like Gods Unchained. Like I was just thinking today, like when I stopped playing after 3 games, I was like, well, if I play 2 more games this weekend, I could get to the next pack tier, and I could probably find time to squeeze in 2 more games to get to that next pack.
Because I think that's the whole gamification of everything, right? They kind of keep you coming back. All right, Matt. So the next question I want to ask you is more about the election and whatnot. Is why did you nominate yourself? Why did you nominate yourself, and how do you think that you're going to be able to represent the community?
So why did I nominate myself? I think I have a unique experience and perspective compared to some of the other people that have nominated themselves. I think a lot of other people came from more like gaming and computer backgrounds, like those more gaming and scientific backgrounds. I think I come from a more like operations, business, analytics type of background. So I think I could provide a unique perspective that other council members might not be able to provide and the other people running. I'm also just really interested in Illuvium, and I think it's a really cool project. I've been following crypto for, I want to say, probably about 2 years now. I've kind of been in it and following it. I've always looked for things to get involved just because I'm really interested in crypto. And this is one of those projects. Like, as I said, I've been in here since last July, and I still check the Discord every day, and I still, watch all the content that's coming out, and it's, kept my interest and something that I'm passionate about, kind of. So it's like, here's something where I might be able to actually add some unique perspective, and it's something that I might be good at. Like what I do a lot for my job is listen to lots of people's, I want to say problems or like issues and challenges that people are having, weighing different business ideas, coming up with goals and prioritizing things. So I think I may be able to actually be kind of good at that and be able to, when we're reviewing IIPs and talking about that kind of stuff. I think that's the kind of thing that I'm good at. And then it's also something where, hey, here's something where I could really get involved. And when I'm putting in that extra time, as you're, kind of talking about before, where, when we all have a limited amount of time. And this is something where when I'm putting in that time on the nights and the weekends and, outside of my full-time day job, where I'm really going to want to do it. And I'm going to be interested in reading about that and seeing where this goes. Because, one of the things I'm most interested with Illuvium is where it is in 5 or 10 years. Like, I'm really excited for the auto battler. I'm really excited for like the initial, launch, but I'm also really excited when they have 3, 4, 5 different properties and how all these different things work together and, how that, what that could potentially become.
Because
so,
I think
I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I completely get you, because I think that's where the exciting thing is. It's because right now everyone's focused on the launching of the main game, which obviously makes sense because we don't have a game right now. But like you say, once that happens, that long term side of 3-5 years, it's gonna be interesting once we have a couple of, because I think everyone's looking at Illuvium as a game and not as a game studio. And I think once we shift into that studio mindset and actually become, and it's clear to everyone that it is a studio, I think that's going to change the conversation, and it's exciting to see what's going to happen in the future.
I agree. Yeah. So if I could just sum it up real quick. I think it's really two things. It's one, I want to do it. I want to be a part of Illuvium. I think it's a really interesting product, and I want to be part of it. And two, I think it's something I could be really good at and provide a unique perspective. My experience with operations and with building teams and with communication and listening to customers and building consensus with a lot of what I have to do. I think it would be valuable skills that I could bring to the council.
All right, man, that's actually a really good transition to the next question, because we're going to start going into more specific things, and it is going to be about listening to the consensus and how people are feeling and seeing where you stand on those things. So the next question is regarding the ongoing discussion about the possibility of being able to claim RevDis as SILV2. Where do you stand on that? Do you think we should allow that? Are you against it? And why? Give your reasoning. And what effect do you think it will have on the DAO if it does go through?
Yeah, so I am for it. I think overall it's a good thing for the DAO. I think in the short term, it has the potential to provide some negative downward pressure on, ILV, mainly that people could claim their rewards as SILV, which means when they're buying things, they're buying it with SILV instead of with ETH, which leads to less, revenue for ILV holders, obviously. However, I think that is the short-term perspective. I think if we're thinking about what is long-term in the best interest of the DAO, I think every time someone claims with SILV, it is now obviously burning ILV because that will never be claimed as ILV. And I think long-term, that deflationary pressure on ILV will be in the best interest of the long-term value of ILV and to ILV holders. It also potentially provides some additional flexibility in the future. Again, if we're thinking about ILV as a game studio, I know there's a pot of revenue or pot of money that's set aside for in-game rewards and things like that. But if you have additional ILV, it provides, in 10 or 15 years, maybe we start running low on that in-game tournament money and we still want to be able to do those things. Well, now here's some additional ILV that the Treasury has that, barring votes and all those types of things, we could potentially tap into if we wanted to. I think the deflationary pressure on ILV is by far the bigger consideration. I don't know if we would in the future want to put more ILV into the market, but it's better to have options than to not have options. So, it's always good to have that if you want to.
In that situation, would you opt for minting, putting more ILV into the system, or because I know that there has been a conversation about an ILV split. Would they be considered the same thing? I'm actually not too sure. Would that be considered putting more ILV out into the system, or?
I don't think it would be the same thing as a split, because to me a split is where actually, we have a fixed supply of 10 million ILV. Now we're saying now there's 20 million ILV. This is more, hey, we have this pot of that original 10 million ILV that never went into circulation because it was claimed as this other thing instead. So right now it's, the idea is it just sits there and now it just reduces the total supply of ILV. Long term, maybe that's what we want to do. I don't want to say that I'm proposing that we should put this money out, release this ILV in the future. All I'm just saying is it might be nice to, as an additional, ancillary benefit and additional to deflationary pressure, it also gives you potentially some more options in the future. If we're thinking about hopefully a studio that's around in 15, 20 years, it might be nice to have, some extra levers to pull in the future if you wanted to.
Yeah, 100%.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, cool.
All right, so we're gonna go into the next question, and that is what the last epoch, the Q1 epoch, was a little bit quiet in terms of IIPs and proposals and whatnot. What do you think should be the priority for the next epoch? Because it was a little bit quiet, and it seems that things are kind of pumping up now. What do you think the priority should be for this epoch and for the council members?
Yeah, I think this is like execution epoch. I think a lot of stuff is going to start coming out over the next month, and then people are going to start using those products that are released. People are going to start playing Illuvium 0. People are going to start playing the open beta. I think what the council should be paying the most attention to is how is everything working. Yeah. Teams put a lot of great effort into planning things out, planning out the revenue distribution, planning out all of the level setting between 5% for landowners, 95%. Level setting all the characters and everything. But once everyone's actually playing that, inevitably some things might not go according to plan. Yeah. And I think a smooth launch is critical for the long-term success. You want the initial reviews to be positive. You want people to have a good experience and tell their friends. You don't want people to start with a bad experience. So I think all eyes should mostly be focused on, let's make sure the things that are currently in the pipeline are delivered smoothly. Yeah. Let's keep our eyes on how things are executing. Let's make sure we're prepared to pivot and to make changes as we need to. Yeah. And I think really that should be the focus for probably the next 3 months. I'm just making sure that stuff goes smoothly. Yeah. And then I think after that, you could start maybe pivoting and paying a little more attention to what comes next. Start talking about mobile games and start talking about how you expand and grow and future products. But I think probably the next epoch should be focused on probably execution and keeping an eye on how those initial products that we're planning to come out over the next couple of weeks and months will perform.
That's a really good answer, man. That's a really good answer.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's a really good answer. All right, so another question regarding the council as it is for the moment is, what is your opinion on, because there has been another discussion about extending the council, yeah. Because right now we have 5. Obviously, we want an odd number so there can always be a majority. So what is your opinion on extending that to adding two additional seats? And following up with that is, I do know that they've had discussions also about predetermined specific quotas. That's the word I'll use, quotas. So for example, say we have 5 seats. One of them needs to be a team member. One of them needs to be a content creator that represents the community, whatnot. Just that idea. So what are your opinions on, should we extend the council? And 2, should we lean towards that more designated roles, meaning everyone can still communicate, but yeah, I'm sure you understand the question.
Yeah. So I'll start off by saying I'd be curious to hear more about people's opinions on both sides. Yeah. So what I'm going to say is my current opinion based on the information I have right now, but I'm definitely someone that's willing to change my mind when I hear a good argument. Right now I'm saying I'm totally fine. Let me start over. I think it makes sense to have differing viewpoints and opinions on the council. I think it works. Decisions are made best when you have various different perspectives and ideas that are all coming together. So you hear all the sides and you hear all the inputs and you hear all the considerations, a lot of potential obstacles and risks, and you get all those points of views. So that being said, I think it probably does make sense to say someone from the team should be involved. Yeah. There's a lot that I know we're a DAO, we're a decentralized organization, but just the nature of a gaming studio, there's going to be stuff that's internal to the team, and that having that perspective of someone that's embedded in the team probably makes a lot of sense. I might almost say that whoever that person is, maybe potentially is not voted on by the DAO. Maybe that's someone that's just appointed by the core team, and they say, here's our representative on the council. Yep. They're only 1 seat, so it's not like they're going to have majority rule or be able to be kings or anything like that. Yeah. They're just one voice amongst 7 or I'm about to say maybe 9. And then the same with and then I think the content creation community is going to be important voices. All of you are messengers to the community. You talk directly with the community, not just within Discord, which we have a huge Discord, but also there's people who aren't on Discord, they follow on YouTube, they follow podcasts, they follow other things. So I think having that bridge to the content community and to the Illuvium community is really important. And I think the content community is really good liaisons with the community. I might also say guilds too. I think guilds are going to be critical to Illuvium's success long term. And having representatives from guilds on the council and helping make those decisions and representing their guilds makes a lot of sense too. So I think 7 or 9 is fine. I would say more hesitant to expand it beyond there, just because I think it's hard to have conversations and good discussions when the group gets too big, and 7 to 9 is probably that limit of that group size. And something else that might be good about 9 is then you have 4 that are sort of, I'm kind of saying not from like the actual gaming community, because they're like from the team.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You have 5 members, from the general community, and 4 from the more
specialized, I guess.
Organized, maybe, guilds, content creators, the core team. So at the end of the day, they would still always get outvoted. If the community feels really strongly about someone, they have a 5-4 majority.
Yeah.
So then I think you have lots of voices, plenty of voices from the community, where you have 5 people that could really speak up, and you get a lot of diversity in opinion. You get representatives from the guilds, you have representatives from the content community, and you have representatives from the core team.
Yeah.
And I think those voices might make, those different voices and ideas might help lead to the best decisions.
Yeah, no, I think that's really well thought out, man. That's really well thought out. That's a good answer. Yeah, all right. Actually, the next
one more thing on that, if I could.
Yeah.
I also feel like, just from my experience, when people are involved in the decision-making process, they tend to get behind it more. So I think just even if, when guilds feel like they have a seat at the table, when content creators feel like they have a seat at the table, and people who follow those content creators feel like we have a voice at that table, even when decisions are made that they don't believe in, or like, I don't personally support that decision, I feel like they're more likely to support it and be okay with it, because they feel like they had their say. So that would be another reason to include those groups as well. Like guilds, hey, I don't necessarily agree with the decision, but I heard I was at the table, and I got to, to speak my voice. And I think that leads to like happier communities.
Yeah, actually, just like instead of moving straight on, I want to dive into that, because you did mention, for example, we had like the core team, content creators, guilds. Are there anything else that you think that might be super important? Is there any other specific role?
There's other roles I think are important. Like, I think it's probably good to have marketing perspective. It's probably good to have, selfishly, I'll say like operations, and people understand how to run businesses and technology organizations. It's probably good to have a lot of different skills on the council.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of another group I would say like we need to devote a seat to like just these people. Like guilds, core team, and content creators are like groups I feel like make sense. I feel like the other skills are probably up to the community when they're saying, who am I voting for? Like, let's make sure and try to promote that we pick people with different skill sets, and don't always just pick the same like one type of person.
Yeah.
But I feel like those other types of skill sets could probably come out of the community and don't necessarily need to have like designated seats or roles.
Yeah. No, that's fair. All right, man. So the next question is, currently, like we already did mention that the last Epoch did seem a bit quiet. And it's only 3 months, so now it's election time again. So do you think that we should be extending epochs to I'm just going to leave that question there and let you interpret it how you want. Do you think that we should extend epochs? Speak.
So right now, I feel like the 3-month epochs are probably good. I know it was kind of quiet last time, but I feel like that part of that was unintended. We had, SILV hacks, we had Discord hacks, things happen that derailed plans a little bit, which happens.
It happens,
So it's like the nature of it, there wasn't a lot to do. I think once, particularly now, SILV2 is out, staking V2 is going to come out soon. I think a lot of stuff's going to be coming out really quickly. I think right now it probably makes sense just keep the 3 months epochs, just because so much stuff will be changing. And I think once there's products out that people are really using, Illuvium 0, open beta, even potentially like closed beta, once there's more participants involved, I think there'll likely be more decisions to made. So I would be hesitant to extend the epochs now and then have a whole bunch of stuff happen and be sort of locked into those longer epochs.
Yeah.
I feel like now let's keep that flexibility and ability to change leaders, to have people potentially opt out, because maybe there's just a ton of stuff happening once the game launches and now it's more the work than I was expecting, just for example. I think that flexibility makes sense, particularly since it feels like the overhead of voting or of the elections isn't that great. Or it's not like a super high overhead. If you're running for your election, you wrote an application last time, maybe you want to modify it a little bit, but it's not like you have to start from scratch. Voting is, you go on your computer, you pick some people on like a screen. So it's not like there's a huge overhead. So given the minimal overhead and the possibility that things might start happening really quickly, you might want that flexibility. I'd say keep it shorter for now. Long term, once things are more stable, we might not need to have the such frequent elections, and maybe you could slow it down in like 6 month terms or something like that. But I would say let's play it by ear, keep it for the 3-month epochs for now. And then if we feel like in a year or so that we really don't need to do elections every 3 months, we could always scale it back from there.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I think that's completely fair. All right, man. So we've essentially got 2 questions left.
Cool.
I'm going to let everyone know, I did send you the question so you could prepare and gather your thoughts. One question I have given you, and there's one that I haven't given you, just as a fun way to kind of close out.
Cool.
But so the last one that I did give you was, if you specifically had to champion a proposal in this epoch, or actually, scrap that. If you could champion a proposal in any epoch, what would it be, and like, why is that important to you?
Yeah. So I would need help with this one because I'm definitely not a game designer, but I would want to write an IPP for some sort of builder type game, maybe something similar to like a SimCity or a Minecraft type thing. One of the things that makes me most excited about, the metaverse and Illuvium, like I was talking about before, like that it's a platform and enables people to create things. I think the games that people are going to be most invested in and feel the closest to are the things where they actually get to be creators too, and they're not just playing them. And I know how much people love like those SimCity type games. I know I played, I didn't play, the newer Sims, but I played, SimCity. So I'd like to see like the Illuvium Zero expanded to be able to build like residential type buildings, have people actually build their own houses, and do some sort of actually like Sims or SimCity type thing where people could actually just have a place where they can go and build things and hang out and, create their own things. And then it might even expand it to say something similar to like a Roblox type thing where there's just like an open source SDK that people could plug into and they could build their own games that they want to. Maybe, obviously, you're probably going to need to go through IPPs and go through the council if you wanted to really plug into the ecosystem. But it'd be really great if people just wanted to build like a fun game standalone thing for themselves and they wanted to use their Illuviums and like their Rangers and things like that. So I know it's not like a super well thought idea yet, but those are the kinds of things I'm thinking about. Like, it would be really cool if there was some sort of like Sims or SimCity type game where people could just kind of build their own stuff. And then also, that would be really cool.
Actually, that's funny because the last question that I was going to close out with was, because obviously we need a proposal for the next genre of game. What would it be? And you obviously just answered that.
I think that's what it be. People want to hang out, right? They want to. I think people like building things and they like to be able to create their own houses. I know my nieces and nephews, like one of my nephews, he's like really into. I guess my niece and nephew, they're both really into Minecraft. And every time I go over, they're showing me like their house that they build. And
Minecraft is just nuts, man. It's nuts.
And just imagine if you could build your own like house in the Illuvium universe, and then you had all your Illuvium pets there with you, and you could actually like just kind of hang out with all of your Illuvium friends in Illuvium. I think that might be really cool.
Actually, considering that is the answer that you gave me, I want to pivot slightly because that's obviously a selfish answer for what you want, right? So going on that question of what is the next genre you think we should have? Selfishly, you've given that answer. What do you think makes the most logical sense for the DAO? Thinking as a council member for the DAO, I want to get both sides because you're giving your personal opinion. What do you think the next genre for the DAO should be? What do you think the next logical step should be?
That's a really good question. I would say I probably don't know. I think the right answer is something that someone else has, and I would like to see what everyone thinks and look through all those ideas and try to come up with the best one. I feel like that tends to be my strength more than thinking of the ideas myself. Analyzing everyone else's ideas. That's a really good question. If I had to speak off the top of my head, I would say there's 2 things that are coming to mind. One is some sort of like racer type game. Because I think that might be like a Mario Kart type game. Because one, it seems like it might not be terribly difficult to build. It is an easy way for people to use their new IPs. Like I'm just collecting all these Illuviums and now I could go race them, and it's like a very fun and easy thing to do. And you could also be competitive because it's, it's kind of thing you race against your friends and stuff like that. So that's what's sort of come into my head, or maybe some sort of like Super Smash Brothers type game. I know there's like some stuff that's out there right now that's sort of building those fighter games where you could pull an IP from other things. Like, I don't know, maybe you could build
we were just having that conversation this morning
with them, or
me and Najib were just having that conversation. Like, imagine if they made a Super Smash Bros for Illuvium, That would be sick. We just had that conversation.
Yeah, I think that would be sick. And I think it would be a fun thing that people could do. And it also, just from like the DAO perspective, now you could think of like people want to buy their extra skins or costumes or like little weapons or hammers or like power ups for their stuff to play in the game. And it's like potentially another revenue stream of things you can sell.
Yeah.
So, I would support that.
Yeah, because I mean, I support both of those because I honestly was thinking just recently, I was like, a Mario Kart, like a kart racer would be sick. And because I play Super Smash Bros. Competitively, so an Illuvium Smash Bros. Would be mad. Like, I'm down for both of those things.
Nice.
But yeah, man.
And then you could also go into like the content creation. Those are also things where you could have a lot of content creation. You know, let people design their own tracks, their own levels, and things like that. So thinking like a Mario Maker style thing where you know, people could build their own stuff, and now you're all, you know, it's more things that you can do yourself and make it your own.
Yeah, I think that's the wild thing with this DAO, right? It's because like everything is up for proposals. If someone does propose something like that, like you said, in the long term, 5 to 10, 15 years, the possibilities are pretty insane. And it's just, it just seems like there's just so much upside. It just seems like it's
that's what gets me the most excited. As
like,
much as I'm excited for the games that are about to come out, I'm really excited to see how it all comes together in 5 or 10 years.
5-10 years. I think that's the time frame. But all right, man. Yo, honestly, so that was pretty much all the questions I had. Thank you for coming on. Is there anything that before we leave, you want to, any last thing that you want to say or close out with?
Yeah, thanks for your time. I really appreciate you interviewing me and giving me this opportunity to talk to the community. It was really great chatting to you and meeting you better.
I appreciate that.
And everyone, if you have any questions or if anyone wants to talk to me, feel free to hit me up on Discord. I would love to get to know everyone better. So please, no one hesitate to reach out if you have anything you want to talk about.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, man. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this insightful. If you've learned anything, like Heath said, if you have any questions, just at him in the Discord. I'm sure he's obviously more than happy to talk. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.